Funding Pips has been a player in the game since 2002, but are they a trusted prop firm that you can trust with your hard-earned money? Well, let's dive into them and let's find out. What up, folks? This is Ed Cat from Forex Insights SA, and we're about to discuss Funding Pips and whether or not they are a good option for you. So, Funding Pips is a popular prop firm located in the UAE, one of several prop firms in the UAE, quite a popular place to build prop firms because of the tax advantages that they get there. Funding Pips claims to have over 750,000 traders over 195 different countries. So it is one of the more popular prop firms in the industry right now. But let's look a little bit closer and let's figure out if they're actually as trusted as these numbers would seem to suggest. Looking at their account selection, they have 4 different options for you to pick from. Their instant funding, 1-step, traditional 2-step, and their 2-step pro. Now, each of these, depending on which one you pick, come with their own unique set of criteria in terms of your max drawdown and daily drawdown, as well as your profit target. Now, looking at their instant funding account, which is not something too many prop firms do, does have its own unique little challenges. So you do not have to do an evaluation phase with the instant funded option. You go straight into the funded phase. However, there is a caveat. You have a max drawdown of 5% and a daily drawdown of 3%. So the actual rules are a lot tighter than with a typical 2-stage evaluation funded account. Also, you have a consistency score rule of 15%, meaning your biggest winning day cannot add up to more than 15% of the total profits. And that does put a little bit of a handicap on traders, meaning they would have to have a minimum of 7 winning trading days of equal value in order to get below that 15% threshold. So that does prove a little bit tricky for some traders. When you add that factor into it, an instant funded account becomes about as difficult as a 1-step or a 2-step in terms of actually getting the payout. So to me, instant funding accounts are a little bit of a marketing bait and switch. It sounds like a really good idea, but practically speaking, it's just as difficult as the other phases. However, if you're the type of trader who benefits from that psychologically, you do have the option. They are 1-step coming after that with a 6% max drawdown, 3% daily drawdown. The caveat being you have a profit target still of 10%. So only one phase to pass the account, but you still have to make the 10% profit with stricter conditions set against you, which makes this a little bit more difficult, in my opinion, than their 2-step. But again, an option for you if you are in a little bit of a hurry and you do have a high win percentage. Their 2-step having 2 different options for you. Their stock standard 10% profit target in phase 1, 5% profit target in phase 2, 10% maximum drawdown and 5% daily drawdown, or for a slightly increased fee, you can drop that profit target down to 8% while still keeping the 10% and 5% max and daily drawdowns standard. Now that is an option I really do like. For an increased fee, you can make the challenge slightly easier to pass. So in terms of the account selection, I really do like what I'm seeing. A couple industry tricks in there to make you think like you're getting a really good deal, but their pricing on those is really good. So not something I'm going to knock against them. Now, moving on to one of the most important parts of a prop firm is their trading conditions. Now, Funding Pips does have a few unique rules in terms of things like their news trading. Now, they have a 10-minute before and after news trading window, which is a lot higher than what most prop firms account for. So what that means is you're not allowed to open or close a trade 10 minutes before or 10 minutes after high impact news events, which is a lot longer than most prop firms. Some prop firms go as low as 2 minutes. The industry standard seems to be around 5 minutes. The fact that they do 10 minutes before and after a 20-minute total window is a little bit on the high side. However, they do have a caveat to that, stating that if the trade was open more than 5 hours before that red folder news event, then that window no longer applies to your trade, and if you close it in that window, it will still count. However, if it was opened less than 5 minutes before that news event, any winning trades closed in that window will not count towards your P&L. Funding Pips also does not allow you to hold trades over the weekend, which if you are a swing trader can be quite problematic. A lot of swing traders like to open their trades for days, weeks, and sometimes even months, and this does not seem to be an option that you have with Funding Pips. Funding Pips also has an IP rule, meaning that your IP address cannot change significantly during the course of your challenge without realistic reason for it. So this is to prevent your account being traded by multiple different people at a time, but it also does mean that if you're someone who travels very frequently, you might need to provide proof that you have indeed traveled during the course of your trading. This, of course, is going to be location-based, so if you're moving from one part of the city to another, that's not going to be too much of an issue. But if you are bouncing around from province to province, country to country, then this is something that they might flag. Looking at the price points, Funding Pips looks like it's quite the affordable prop firm. Their lowest account starting at $32 for a $5,000 account, which is one of the more affordable ones in the prop firm space right now. Their most expensive account being the $100,000 account with the 8% profit target at $529,000, which is realistic and very comparable to what else is offered out there right now. They also offer scaling options if you hit certain milestones in your trading, up to $2 million in funding, which is a lot higher than what a lot of other prop firms are offering right now. A lot of other prop firms stop at 1 million, so the fact that they're able to double that is really cool. Funding Pips also offers you different trading platforms to suit your taste. They offer the typical MetaTrader 5 and Trade Locker for no additional fee. And if you're a big fan of CTrader, for an additional fee, you can get access to that platform as well. And I like the fact that they have that variety. Looking at Funding Pips' trade conditions, this is where things start to get a little dicey. Trade conditions are really good, spreads and slippages are really low during the challenge phases. But once you go into the live phase, things tend to get a little bit worse. Their slippage tends to get a little bit higher, their spreads tend to get a little bit bigger. And this is a trick a lot of prop firms use to try and make their live traders a little bit less successful, because a little known secret in the prop firm space is that most of the money for these prop firms is made on failed challenges. Past challenges and paying out profits is actually a liability to the company. So they do try and make things a little bit more difficult for you once you get to the live phase. And Funding Pips seems to be slightly guilty of this as well. But in terms of actually paying out the traders, there is very little evidence to suggest that they are not good at paying out. A lot of traders seem to be very happy from the payouts that Funding Pips has been producing, and they have approved a couple large payouts as well. So it looks like at least once you do make a profit, even if they make it a little bit difficult for you, they are going to pay you out. So overall, Funding Pips is a decent prop firm that I'm going to give a score of 3.5 bullish candles out of 5. They have a really good selection of account sizes and account options for you to suit your tastes, and their prices are really affordable. That whole notion of them slightly manipulating their trade conditions once you get funded is a little bit of a red flag, but a lot of prop firms do suffer from the same type of shadiness. And the fact that they've been in the game for at least 3 years, building up a really good reputation, these are signs that they are a decent prop firm and one you can probably make the bet that you will be satisfied with. So, have you traded with Funding Pips before? What was your experience? Go ahead and put the comment down below. And if you would like me to review any other prop firms, do let me know what you're keen for. I've been Ed Cat, this has been Forex Insights SA, and we will see you in the next one.